Have no fear! Harmless Phosphorescence is here! Hello everyone! This is Humble Genius Thoreau Smiley. Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh Cece, and the ham was my most recent mistake.
I'm Brian Lesh, and there are no bad dogs, just bad dog owners.
Considering all the things I probably lick, just call me Alaric Weber.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. This is the podcast and the live stream. I'll edit that out. This is the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, and then we tell you all about it. And this show is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Head over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. And for $1 a month, you can watch our monthly movies. For $5 a month, you can watch everything we make, which is a lot of stuff. So head on over there and do it, guys. There's no reason not to. This week, everybody, we are watching for Harmless Phosphorescence, Underdog.
His dog can sit, roll over, and speak.
Give the dog your food.
One superpowered accident.
I've never run this fast before.
One hero in training.
Oh no.
In need of a secret identity.
As long as I don't look ridiculous.
Walt Disney Pictures presents.
I want his power.
Gross, your mouth was open.
Underdog.
Underdog, released August 3rd, 2007, with a running time of 82 minutes. It cost $25 million to make, took in $65 million at the box office, so it made its money, I guess.
Yeah, sure did. That's a low amount of money.
Yes. Yes.
2007?
Yeah, in 2007, wow. That's not a lot, no matter how you cut it. It's... Ooh. Okay, yeah, we'll get to this movie, but in the meantime, guys, are you ready to play the box office top 10 game?
Yes.
Yep. Here we go. This is the game where I am going to have the guys guess where they think Underdog opened the week of August 3rd, 2007. Then they're going to try to guess what movie I am describing based only on the Box Office Mojo description of that movie. I'll count down 10 to 1, all the movies in the top 10 of that week. This week, Brian, why don't you guess first? Where do you think...
I'm sorry, can we have the week of this movie release again?
Yeah.
August 3rd, 2007.
Can you use it in a sentence also?
Underdog was released August 3rd, 2007.
Sweet. I've got a better grasp on the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm going to say number 6.
Brian goes 6. All right. That's nice. Al.
4.
Al goes 4. Josh, what you thinking?
Well, I think that they're closer to it, but, for the spirit of game shows, I'm going to go with number 1.
Ooh, Josh goes number 1. Betting it all on the dog, the Underdog.
I should have gone for the Showcase Showdown. Damn it.
You should have traded and gotten the one with the boat.
Exactly.
All right, here we go then. This is the Box Office Top 10. Opening at number 10. This did open this week, number 10. During their first year of high school, 4 best girlfriends face off against the domineering student body president who wants to split them up into different social cliques.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
That was the only thing that came to my mind. So insulted. Yeah.
This is based on a known property, so it's not an all original movie, but it's not It's the first movie of this property.
What?
100%, none of us are the demographic for this film.
Yeah, clearly not. The only we can ever think of is traveling pants.
It is the Bratz movie. BRATZ.
Those little toys, right?
Yeah.
The big
With the
head.
giant heads?
Yeah.
Yeah, the injection molded. Was it animated?
No, it was live action.
Did they have big heads?
No. Well, I mean, relatively speaking, for a human, they might have.
Yeah, a distant cousin podcast of ours, How Did This Get Made, did Bratz, and it's a pretty funny episode.
Ooh,
trying to understand that.
Okay, were the Bratz dolls, were they owned by the same people that did the Cholo toys? Remember those?
The homies, you mean?
The homies, that's right, the homies.
Oh, I don't know. Weren't Bratz essentially just like pop figures, like except just tween girls?
Yeah, sort of like shitty Barbies, like bad attitude Barbies.
That's what they
I
call
don't
me.
know. She has a colorful streak in her hair. She's a bad girl with a giant head.
That's what made me marry my wife. Honey, I'm sorry if you're listening.
She's watching the live.
She's like, I'm not.
That was number 10. Coming in at number 9. Also opening this week, self-proclaimed stuntman is preparing for the jump of his life to clear 15 buses to raise money for his abusive stepfather's life-saving heart operation.
Ian McShane is his father. Was it called Hot Rod or something?
Yeah,
it was
the Andy Samberg movie.
The first foray into movies for him.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I mean, yeah, it had, all the jokes that were funny were based on what an inept stuntman he is, so it's kind of like a new Super Dave, I guess, for younger types.
For all of those kids that wanted Super Dave but thought he was just out of touch with today's kids.
Just out of touch. Rest in peace, Bob Einstein.
I love that in the description he was a self-proclaimed stuntman.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't a professional. He just decided he was.
But he would organize events around his town, like jumping over a above ground pool and shit like that.
Yeah. And then not opening this week at number 8, an ancient struggle between two races comes to Earth with a clue to the ultimate power held by a teenager.
Oh, I had a guess until a teenager showed up. Is this Alien vs. Predator?
No.
Oh, wow.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Predator? There's a teen.
Battlefield Earth was John Travolta the teenager.
No. John Travolta playing a teenager in 2007.
He played Haile Selassie with his dreadlocks.
Doing what he got most famous for, playing a teenager.
Yeah. Grease 3, starring John Travolta, coming 2021.
He's just his character from Hairspray.
From Urban Cowboy.
He's the car now.
Yeah.
Now he's the car.
He's like, get in me and ride me into the sunset.
Mr. Carter.
Any guesses, Al?
No, we're still on.
Transformers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is right. Little LaBouffe. LaBouffe. When he was just a French Canadian.
Little LaBouffe and little Maggie Fox.
Yep.
Number 6 or 7, coming in at number 7 this week. Slow Box Office Mojo at number 7. Let's try that again. It does this sometimes. All right, coming in at number 7 this week. The life of a top chef changes when she becomes the guardian of her young niece. This is Transformers 2. If you had to
for some reason, Guardian struck us like, fairy tale or ancient.
Starring Aaron Eckhart and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I know this movie, but it's called like Simmer or like the restaurant base. Broth, the movie. I can kind of see through it.
I was surprised it didn't star Anthony Bourdain. It's called No Reservations.
Ooh. That's why I couldn't remember. My mind erased that.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. And oh wow, this is interesting that this comes out this week, based on what we were just talking about. A pleasantly plump teenager teaches 1962 Baltimore a thing or two about integration after landing a spot on a local TV dance show.
Battlefield Earth, starring John Travolta. Hairspray, man.
Yeah, Hairspray. Josh. Oh wait, I forgot to give any points. Everybody has 5 points except for Josh, because he's the only one that's guessed anything right. So he loses his points.
Fair. That's fair.
It's like golf.
Like golf.
Yeah. So that was. There we go. Coming in at number 5 this week. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to describe this one without giving it away. With their warnings about a great evil returning being scoffed at, our heroes are targeted by the authorities as a bureaucrat slowly seizes power of their school.
This is Harry Potter.
Which one? Any guesses?
Oh, I have no idea. The Dark something. Prince of the Dance.
Jude would 100% get this and then slap all of us for not.
2007. That was kind of later, right? So,
yeah, it wasn't one of the earliest movies. It's kind of smack dab in the middle.
What's it called? Rise of the Phoenix or something?
Oh, yeah. Order of the Phoenix. Very good, Josh.
Oh, there you go.
You get your 5 points back for
nice.
saying the word Phoenix.
So I'm back at 0.
Yeah, exactly. Coming in at number 4 this week. Oh, boy. 2 straight single Brooklyn firefighters pretend to be a gay couple in order to receive domestic partner benefits.
I hate that this movie was made.
Uh-huh. It's an Adam Sandler joint. And not just Adam Sandler. We got some Kevin James in there.
Oh, Kevin James. So do you think that Kevin James helped Adam Sandler like bury a hooker or something? Like, why does Adam Sandler owe Kevin James so much?
Right?
He's the only person that can play the roles that Adam Sandler doesn't feel comfortable playing. He's like, yeah, just too fat for me.
Yeah, it's too fat for me. Are you sure, Adam? Yeah. It's like Chuck and Larry, right?
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Wow. We got a few more movies like this in the following years. It took a few more years for us to work these out of our system as a society.
Oh, with like the pretending to be gay thing?
Yeah, and like the Man in the Dress movie and shit like that.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Well, then there's also that element of sort of like Breaking Bad, where the premise doesn't make any sense in most other civilized countries, you know?
Only in America.
That single firefighter father needs insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole premise doesn't make sense in most places. Yeah.
Thank you, Reagan. Coming in at number 3 this week, a beagle must use his newly bestowed superpowers to defend Capital City from mad scientist Simon Bar Sinister.
Frost Nixon.
Yes. The undeadening.
The undeadening.
Air Bud.
So number 3.
PI.
Al, did you have 4 or was that Brian? Who had 4?
Al had 4.
Al had 4?
Oh, I did have 4. That's right.
Al, you are the closest without going over.
Price is right.
So that means that
I forgot because I almost said 3 at the beginning, but I balked.
Oh, see, you never balk, Al.
Man.
Never balk.
Yeah.
No, it's like driving. Don't hesitate.
Yes.
Go into the spin.
Yeah, in the words of Peter Frampton.
It's all in or nothing in. That's my lovemaking technique.
That's all.
Number 2, after a stupid man pollutes the town's water supply, that town is encased in a gigantic dome by the EPA, and the family becomes fugitives.
The Simpsons movie.
Yes, Al. Woo.
Wow.
Right off the bat, you're like Ken Jenkins. Is that the Jeopardy guy's name?
Jennings.
Jennings. Ken Jennings. Yeah. Simpsons movie.
Yeah, based on the Stephen King Under the Dome novel that came out after
this.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
I lucked out on that one because it was one of the previews on my Rise of the Silver Surfer DVD.
Oh my God.
I just assumed you watched it all the time.
I just assumed you're selling them.
Yeah, the DVD. Al's out on the street corner with a
Got a little
blanket
table
and a
set
bunch
up.
of DVDs.
Do you have any other titles? No.
Just Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I got DVDs. I sell hot dogs.
One kind of each.
Yeah, the Simpsons movie. And then at number 1 this week, opening at number 1. A spy dodges a ruthless CIA official and his agents from a new assassination program while searching for the origins of his life as a trained killer.
Is it Casino Royale or was it the one after that?
It was not Casino Royale.
This is the Bourne Ultimatum?
Yes, Brian gets it.
Bourne.
1,700
Yeah, I
points
love
for
spy
Brian.
movies. I'll take it. I'm going to invest it. I'm going to put that with my stimulus money and I'll pay a bill.
Yeah. I'm going to buy some spray paint and head to Kentucky.
Go to Al's house and buy some DVDs.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. Then that's not that far off from Casino Royale. It's essentially the same kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey, what's his name from
Jeffrey Wright?
Jeffrey Wright, yeah. He's a CIA agent that kind of double crosses him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That is our box office top 10 game. Which brings us to Underdog. Underdog does not have a comics background, Al. So there's nothing for you to talk about unless you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the TV series.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
I'll get there. So Underdog is an American animated television series that ran from October 3rd of 1964 to March 4th, 1967. So 3 seasons there. Cool. It looks like the first 2 seasons were on NBC and the final one was on CBS.
Cool.
The show was created by writer W. Watts Biggers and artist Joe Harris under the sponsorship of General Mills to sell breakfast cereals.
Yeah, they actually worked for an advertising agency, right?
Yeah.
So they must have been on the ground floor of that as a marketing strategy. Like, let's just build a cartoon around the cereal rather than fitting the cereal in. Because that's been done many times since, as we know. Same with toys.
Oh, God, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're opening the same week as Underdog was a movie based on a cartoon that was built to sell things to children. Wow.
Yep.
2 of them in the same week, actually. That's crazy.
That's right. The Bourne Ultimatum and this.
Brats! There's a Bratz movie?
Right.
A Transformers movie?
Oh, yeah.
And The Simpsons, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I own all the Matt Damon toys in every movie that he's ever
I do. Yeah, the Good Will Hunting one is fun.
Well, you know, Matt Damon and Bratz really was at the peak of his Matt Damon-ness.
Yeah. You thought he was going to be the teacher, but he was just one of the brats.
He was just one of the brats.
You know?
Like so many before.
I love the theme song he recorded. I'm just one of the brats.
Yeah, his best rap rock performance.
I'm introspective, Brat.
That produced by Fred Durst.
Yeah.
All right, now.
Underdog, the show. After it went off, after it stopped being produced in 1967, it would stay in syndication until 1973 for its first run, with supporting segments including Tennessee Tuxedo, Go-Go Gophers, and Klondike Cat.
I remember all those, especially Tennessee Tuxedo.
Yeah, the walrus.
Don Adams' voice. Yeah. What'd you believe?
What was the walrus's name? For Chumley?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Chumley was the name of a cartoon sidekick. Somebody's.
Anyway,
it might be.
And the show was produced by Total Television and Leonardo Television, animated by Gamma Productions. The show was narrated by George S. Irving, and Underdog was voiced by Wally Cox.
George was the voice of Heat Miser in The Year Without a Santa Claus.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. Underdog is an anthropomorphic canine superhero who remains incognito as the humble and lovable Shoeshine Boy.
Mild-mannered.
Who was literally a Shoeshine Boy.
Were his manners mild, Josh? Were they?
I don't know. Let's jump on literally. All right.
Well, that was his job. He was a Shoeshine Boy.
You're right. He literally was. You're right.
Yeah. When he hears the call of danger, usually from love interest Polly Purebred, a canine TV news reporter, Shoeshine Boy transforms.
Pure Heart. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I always thought it was Polly Pure Heart.
It was Purebred. Pure Heart was a different character that this was based off. That Polly Purebred was based off of.
I for one am glad that Polly's bloodlines are free of any sort of pollution.
Yeah.
So let's see. Shoeshine Boy transforms into Underdog in a phone booth, which would inexplicably explode after his transformation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
On occasion Underdog always spoke in rhyme when he was in his Underdog persona. On occasion, to replenish his powers, he would take an Underdog super energy pill, which he kept in a special ring.
Oh,
that's just mad.
When
wow.
Yeah. Hitler used that same trick.
Or PCP. Lift a car.
When the show returned to syndication in the 80s and 90s, most scenes involving the super energy pill were edited out, or the word energy was changed to vitamin.
Oh, wow.
So it was meth.
Yeah, 100%. Nancy Reagan was like, Underdog.
Say no to Underdog.
Underdog's powers were somewhat inconsistent from episode to episode, but included super strength, super speed, supersonic flight, physical invulnerability, X-ray vision, super breath, cosmic vision, atomic breath, atomizing eyes, heat vision, ultrasonic hearing, a supersonic high-pitch, hi-fi voice, and a calculating brain.
I was going to say, what's missing from that roster, boys? Genius level intellect, but I guess he squeaked by.
Calculating
brain. And here's the dog whistle. Here's the dog whistle I prepared for that. Did everybody hear that? Okay. Underdog would appear in comic book form, notably in Charlton Comics from 1970 to 72, which mainly adapted stories from the cartoon, and Gold Key Comics from 1975 to 79, which featured original stories. I believe I didn't dig too deep into this, but it sounded like there was an ongoing Underdog series that started in like 2017, might still be going.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Check it out for yourself.
Is it live action or
not a cartoon? A comic book.
Oh, a comic. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. A little tidbit I had found out is for a while, Lorne Michaels owned the rights to Underdog.
Interesting.
That explains all the Underdog sketches from the late 90s.
Yeah.
On Saturday Night Live. Sorry.
So we got Simon Bar Sinister. He's a mad scientist, the wickedest man in the world. It is Simon's ambition to rule the world, being a mad scientist and also wicked. Simon is accompanied by his henchman, Cad Lackey, who is generally dull-witted, but occasionally capable of pointing out flaws in his boss's plans. And we also had in this movie, we had Riff Raff, who in the cartoon was an anthropomorphic wolf gangster.
Yeah, I always liked that character.
Yeah, and in this movie was a comedic 3-beat.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, so.
And that's all I got. If anyone else has anything more to throw in there.
No, I think that's way more in depth than I had, Al. So awesome. Thank you very much. That brings us to the movie itself. Released August 3rd, 2007. This movie was directed by Frederick Duchow, who mostly did animated stuff. He the first movie he did was The Smoggies. I don't know if you guys remember that or the show. It was, or did you?
No.
Yeah. He was an animator on Tailspin, Tom and Jerry the movie, The Land Before Time 3. He directed Quest for Camelot, wrote and directed Quest for Camelot and Racing Stripes. Remember the zebra movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He had one movie after Underdog. It was called The Crostons, and there is no Wikipedia entry for it. So
The Crostons.
I think
It's
Underdog.
just a family.
Yeah, I think Underdog might have killed his career.
Well, it went on to make a career, lots of careers. There are a lot of people in this that were just on their verge of very successful.
Yeah,
Sam
absolutely.
Bean. Yeah, a couple of other.
Yeah. Amy Adams, John Slattery.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage himself.
Peter Dinklage just, a few years away from total Dinklages.
Dinklage factor of 5.
And we'll see him again.
Yep. In our dream.
Writing credits on this include Adam Rifkin, who we recently saw as a writer on Zoom, Academy for Super Kids or some, I can't remember. We've got credits for Joe Piscatella. Let's see.
He's a good guy from the neighborhood.
Yeah, right. He's mostly.
Say hi to your mom for me.
This is his only documentary credit, so I don't know how he ended up writing Underdog.
After writing all those documentaries.
Right. Yeah. Hashtag Chicago Girl. Joshua Teen something. Yeah.
Teen Idol.
Then we've got Craig A. Williams with a writing credit on here. Craig A. Williams. Let's see. Has writing credits on some sitcoms. Stark Raving Mad, that one with Doogie Howser and Monk.
Weird. I didn't. Tony Shalhoub.
Shalhoub and what's his face from Doogie Howser and How I Met Your Mother. Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, thank you.
How I Met Tony Shalhoub.
He also had a writing credit. Do you guys remember the cartoon Pandemonium from the 80s?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. And Ozzy and Drix, the cartoon of what was that terrible movie where we were inside Bill Murray's body and it was half animated?
Oh,
what was that called?
Osmosis Jones.
Jones. Yeah, that was it.
Rock was the main character.
Yeah. Ozzy and Drix was the animated show of that.
Far out.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's a movie about cereal. I'm not stressing about it at all. It's just
right. Yeah.
This is this the lowest bar for a movie being made out of all the things that we've done, besides maybe like Toxie?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this one isn't.
3 seasons of a children's cartoon made to sell cereal. I can't think of anything that's as shallow of a premise.
Oh God, like so shallow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, this thing is, and it felt like it too. It was awful.
Well, the stakes were essentially, oh no, that's right. He was going to disperse that DNA gas. Never mind.
I guess it took me 2 viewings to realize he was going to do anything other than blow up the top of a building. So in our cast, Peter Dinklage stars as Dr. Simon Bar Sinister. Bar.
That was a villain name I always remembered growing up. I always thought it was sort of lyrical. Simon Bar Sinister.
Yeah.
A note on that name. Bar Sinister is, a Bend Sinister, more appropriately, is, and sometimes called a Bar Sinister. It's that diagonal stripe on like a crest. Like of royalty. And it's sometimes used to indicate that the bearer of this diagonal stripe was born a bastard.
Oh,
interesting. There's so many layers to Underdog.
That's really cool, though.
Huh. Interesting. So played by Peter Dinklage. His first movie role was Living in Oblivion.
Steve Buscemi's in that.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi. That was a good movie about them trying to make a movie.
Mm-hmm. He was fantastic casting. He was fantastic. I've heard him say before that he obviously steers away from roles that are accentuating his height. But yeah, perfect. He really looked like the cartoon character.
Yeah.
He was probably the most satisfying or payoff.
And he brought his chops to
this. He sure did. He sure did.
Him and Patrick Warburton were just fabulous.
They were the best part of this whole movie by far.
Everyone else was painful. So Living in Oblivion. Then he was in a number of things. He refused to take any elf or leprechaun roles.
Right.
He was in The Station Agent. That was his big breakout. That role was actually written for him. And then have you guys seen Tiptoes with Matthew McConaughey and Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage?
No.
Watch the trailer as soon as you can. After we're done with this. It's about Matthew McConaughey's dating a woman and he doesn't want to tell her right away that his entire family are dwarves.
Whoa.
And then she finds out, and Gary Oldman plays a dwarf.
No, he does. Oh my
yes. I've seen this.
Yeah. Gary Oldman plays a dwarf, and he's so weird looking. It is crazy. Yeah.
Sort of like a Wayans Brothers picture, like Little Man.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's bad.
When was this made?
But it wasn't, it's a serious movie. 2003 was Tiptoes. It's a serious movie. It's not played broadly for laughs. It's a drama.
Right.
That's interesting. This is before Matthew McConaughey was doing dramas. So this is got to be weird.
He was a dwarf. He was in two of the funniest movies I think that have ever been made. He was in the British and American versions of Death at a Funeral. Just fantastic.
Yeah, that
both.
Was great.
Yeah,
and
so
season 8 of Game of Thrones, which was hilarious.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
What a riot!
Yeah, yeah, and of course Tyrion Lannister is his big signature role. Patrick Warburton.
We saw him in X-Men.
That's right. No, we will see him in X-Men.
We will. That's right. He's not in X-Men yet. He's coming. He's going to be.
He will be in X-Men. Well, I mean, he was in X-Men, but for our purposes, he will have been in X-Men at some point in the future.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. Patrick Warburton. We heard his voice in Zoom. And of course, Putty on Seinfeld, Kronk in The Emperor's New Groove. He's in a billion things. He's Patrick Warburton. You know who he is. He was the Tick.
He's the Tick. Yeah.
A couple different times, right?
Yeah. Oh,
when they recently redid it, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. He was on the recent.
The Tick again?
He was on the recent version of it too. Yeah.
But he wasn't.
He wasn't the Tick in the recent version.
No.
Oh, someone else was the Tick,
no.
but he was in it though.
I don't remember seeing him. He was an executive producer. I don't recall seeing him at all in
Far Out.
The Flesh.
I forget the actor's name. British actor.
Was in both.
The Tick.
British actor Peter something. He was the roommate in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that guy. Okay. The guy that plays Arthur on the new one. Griffin Dunn, I think is his name. Him and he does a movie podcast kind of similar to what we do.
Griffin Dunn is much older.
Peter Sarawickiniewicz is the guy who played the tick.
Good. But yeah, you should check out his podcast too, because it's a fun one. So we've got Jim Belushi as Dan Unger. Jim Belushi. Okay. Prepare for this wild ride. So, famously the brother of John Belushi. He was on SNL himself from 83 to 85. He's, his film career is indeed a series of movies that were made. Let's see. Real Men, Red Heat, The Principal. Oh God, Red Heat. Remember when they were trying to pretend like he was actually a movie star?
An action star, even, yeah. He was a spy.
K9. God.
There you go, K9. So, I wonder if it was a joke or if anybody thought about it. But yeah, it's like a cop dog buddy movie.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, Jingle All the Way, Curly Sue. He was, early 90s. He did more stuff. Blues Brothers, 2000. But what is super interesting to me, as he was famously a Republican, kind of a right-wing guy. Apparently, sometime around the Underdog era, he reversed course, endorsed Obama, and now owns a pot farm in Oregon.
Wow.
So,
well, good for him. Yeah. I don't mind Jim Belushi. I mean, he's totally a joke, like we were saying, but he's not hard to watch. I guess it's the same as Tim Allen. Like, I would never list these guys as my favorite actors, but they're not bad. They're not bad to watch.
I would now like to tell you guys about my single favorite Jim Belushi fact. In 2004, Jim Belushi filed a $4 million lawsuit against his neighbor, Julie Newmar.
What?
Alleging she destroyed his fence.
Oh.
Julie Newmar.
That's wild. I
Jim
remember
Belushi's fence.
I remember way back in the Osbournes, and they were having a fight with Pat Boone or whatever, and they threw a ham over the wall, and it just made you stop and think, yeah, that's right. Beverly Hills is pretty small and super expensive to live in. So yeah, his neighbor's Julie Newmar,
and she broke his fence, and he's like, Newmar.
Yeah.
How many millions of dollars did he sue for this fence?
$4 million. And she alleged she countersued him, saying that he was trying to build an addition to his house, which was illegal.
She's like, it wasn't perfect.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Woo, yeah. God.
Yeah, imagine being a judge in Beverly Hills.
I mean, there's some bullshit going on here all the time.
Oh man, you'd have greasy fucking palms for sure. $4 million over a fence. I'd be like, look,
I'm sure that's all it is.
Yeah.
Just give me $4 million and we'll fix the fence.
Instead of how do you plead, it's how do you bid?
Yeah.
Exactly.
For real.
Let's see. We got Alex Newberger as Jack. He was in Running Scared in 2006, Hello Herman in 2012, and Underdog. That's about it.
So I know why the practical filmmaking reasons are, but there didn't need to be this teenage character whatsoever. I was surprised that there was one when he was introduced, because I thought it was going to be Jim and the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go through all those stages that the teenager did, learning his powers, hearing him strange. Yeah. Totally unnecessary character.
Well, I mean, they 100% were aiming this towards a younger crowd. I mean, it's a Disney film. They were aiming it at Disney tweens.
You can pay them cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure if Jim's paying $4 million for a fence.
Taylor Momsen as Molly. She was Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. She played Jenna Humphrey on Gossip Girl. And then she went on to front the rock band, The Pretty Reckless, which they're fine. I actually did a episode of A Personal History of Sound with voice actor J.V. Hampton Van Sant on the Pretty Reckless album. I can't remember which album it was, but yeah, they're all right. She's basically been a musician since the Gossip Girl went off the air.
Well, and folks at home, fine is the highest endorsement Thoreau will give.
It truly is.
So it's good. Take it from me.
John Slattery as the mayor. John Slattery, wow. Like a dude that really came into his fame late in life.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was once he got that look. But I'm sure he was a handsome young man.
Yeah, but yeah, the Silver Fox thing really worked for him.
Oh, yeah.
John Slattery, he got his start. He was on TV in the 80s on the Dirty Dozen series. He did a lot of guest spots, Father Dowling Mysteries, China Beach, Ned and Stacy in the 90s, Party of Five, Becker, Law and Order, Will and Grace. Lots of guest spots on TV. His first film role was in 96 in something called City Hall. He was in the Schwarzenegger movie Eraser in 96. A bunch of B movies no one heard of. Then in 2000, he was in Traffic, starting to come up a little as a character actor. He was also in The Station Agent with Dinklage.
That's far out.
Yeah. Mona Lisa Smile. After this, he was in Charlie Wilson's War. And of course, his big break was Mad Men, which he played Sterling. What was it?
Cooper? Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling Cooper.
McMahon and Tate, whatever the idiot.
Yeah. And we will, of course, see him quite a few times on this show coming up. He plays Howard Stark in the MCU.
Yeah. Brilliantly. I mean, I can't compare it to another portrayal, but that's totally Tony Stark's dad.
Smug.
That is 100% the Tony Stark from
Humor
the MCU
under everything. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Samantha Bee as principal. She didn't get a name.
She got one scene.
She got
and only one scene, right?
She got one scene. Samantha Bee, this is amazing. And I had no idea. At the age of 20, she started out in sketch comedy in Toronto. And then at the age of 26, she toured with a stage production of Sailor Moon in which she played Sailor Moon.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wowzers.
Oh, I need to Google that. That's incredible.
And her husband, Jason Jones, was an understudy on the Sailor Moon stage production.
What?
Was he her son understudy?
I hope so.
That's how they got to the Daily Show?
Yes.
By way of Sailor Moon?
That's how they met. What a weird, like 30 years later, because they're still married, but it wasn't 30 years. But you know what I'm saying? So many years later, like, ooh, how'd you guys meet? Tell us the story. Well, do you remember that anime show from the 90s called? Yeah, strange.
Sailor Moon.
How I Met Your Mother.
Sailor Moon, a Canadian live touring production of Sailor Moon.
Canadian, that's right.
Then, of course, she and Jason Jones went on to be correspondents on The Daily Show for 11 years. She now has her own show, which is Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. She's great. I like her.
Yeah, she's very funny.
Frank Ridley as the police sergeant. In his 30 fabulous seconds of screen time.
But didn't it seem like we were supposed to recognize him as, like an older, do you know what I mean?
Oh,
I was like, who is that guy? Who is that guy? And I looked it up. He's no guy. He's just a guy.
Yeah. He's been in a bunch of stuff as the seventh build character actor.
Well, I'm sure you could stick him in anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Birdman inside Llewyn Davis.
I like both.
The
those.
Box, Next Stop Wonderland. But yeah, he's just that
Oh,
guy.
like the Box.
We had a Jay Leno cameo. And as for our voice cast, we have Jason Lee doing his best My Name is Earl.
Well, I was going to say he was probably the most successful person on that set at that time.
I don't think he ever showed up on set. I think he did this entire movie over the phone, like they're like
Diesel style.
Yeah, we're gonna need another hour of you today. It's like, all right.
I'm pretty sure he just did this in between his "My Name Is Earl"
seasons,
like because he did all those "My Name Is Earl" voiceovers, and it's exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah, there's no affect or anything. Yeah, I was so disappointed to hear him phone this in as poorly as it was done.
Oh, so phoned in.
I like him.
Yeah, I generally like him.
Since he was a skater.
I mean, these days
he was a pro skateboarder.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. He started out as a skateboarder. His big movie break was Mallrats. Although he was an extra in Mi Vida Loca in '93. Yeah, Mallrats. Chasing.
He was the widow.
Yeah.
What was that? Almost Famous? Wasn't he in the band?
Yeah. Oh, he was great in Almost Famous. That was the best. That was his best role. Period. I think.
Right.
I still see him as the demon in Dogma.
That was pretty good.
Fucking demon.
That's real.
Vanilla Sky. Pretty much, if Kevin Smith or Cameron Crowe's going to make a movie, Jason Lee's going to get some work that year. And he played. He was Syndrome in The Incredibles.
Oh yeah, he sure was. Yeah, he has a good voice. I mean, it's not like Alec Baldwin good, but it's good.
He can play that kind of guy. Yeah,
Alec Baldwin.
Or he can narrate.
A great underdog.
Oh yeah,
I can listen to that dude read the phone book. So yeah,
for real.
Amy Adams played Polly Purebred.
Yeah, and who else is she famously now? Lois Lane.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot.
Polly Pureheart is Lois Lane.
Oh my God, I totally forgot that. Oh my God.
Because she's terrible.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. So she got her start. She did a lot of TV work in the late 90s. She was on an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Tara's cousin. She was in.
She was in Drop Dead Gorgeous, which is like a low key masterpiece.
That's a good movie.
If you haven't,
that's the one with not Kate and Allie, with
Kirstie Alley. Yeah,
Kirstie Alley. Yes.
It's about regional teen beauty pageants up in the Great Lakes area.
I finally looked it up.
Yeah.
Polly Pureheart was the love interest in Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley Do-Right. Okay.
Okay, and this was Polly Purebred.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, it's funny because I always thought Underdog was a part of those Jay Ward cartoons. Jay Ward who did Rock and Bullwinkle and Dudley Do-Right.
It's got that same animation style for sure.
It does.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Amy Adams, of course, she was in Catch Me If You Can, The Muppets. Her big break was Enchanted, which came out the same year as this.
That was cute.
Yeah. And then, of course, she'll be Lois Lane in Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman and Justice League.
Didn't she win an Academy Award or no?
I don't know.
Was she nominated?
Was that for what was the Alien movie with Hawkeye?
I
think Arrival. I think she may have won
Arrival. Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was good. Brad Garrett did Riff Raff. He was, of course, my Everybody Loves Raymond.
So good. So he was also doing well at this time. So he was a get, just like Jason Lee. In fact, he was in the trailer, which I was surprised to see.
That's why he was in the trailer, because John DiMaggio was Bulldog, as best known as Bender, but he's the man of
many voices.
Yeah. Then Phil Morris as Mame. Phil Morris was Jackie Childs on Seinfeld. So we got Teddy and Jackie Childs. Al, did you want to say anything about him? Because he does a lot of stuff, which you usually tell us about.
Oh,
I can do it if you don't. I've got it up. So, strangely, he was in The Search for Spock, Jingle All the Way, but he is also, let's see, he played Green Arrow and Hawkman in Lego DC Comics Superheroes. He played Vandal Savage in Justice League Doom. In Justice League New Frontier, he was King Faraday. let's see. In Teen Titans Go, he played an announcer. Superman Red Sun, he played James Olsen.
James Olsen.
James Olsen.
I've got a 401k now.
And let's see. He also, there was like a bunch more. Green Lantern, the series, he was Saint Walker. He played Max Fury in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Max Fury. That's great.
Yeah.
Name.
Yeah.
Max Power. Oh, I love your name. Thanks. I got it from a hairdryer.
And he's currently playing Silas Stone on Doom Patrol.
Oh.
Michael Massey as Kill. We saw him last in The Crow. He played Fun Boy.
Oh, Fun Boy.
We'll see.
Yeah. Wait. So these are the German Shepherds, the like momentarily evil.
The German Shepherds and the bully dogs that are just walking around the streets.
Oh, the Pug Chihuahua mix.
Yeah. Michael Massey we'll also see again in The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Michael Massey is the one who was wielding the gun which caused Brandon Lee's death.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's the top thing on his Wikipedia entry. It's like, that sucks.
That sucks.
Because it wasn't his fault.
Not in the least. No, there are people that have a job specifically for that.
Yeah.
It wasn't him.
Exactly. Cam Clark was also one of the dogs, and he mostly just does a lot of voice work. He was Leonardo in Rocksteady. He did a lot of voices on the original 89 Akira dub. He does some voices on Metal Gear. Oh, he's Liquid Snake. Okay.
Ooh, is that anything like a pocket snake?
Yes. And of course, Jess Harnell as the astronaut when he went up into space.
Oh, yeah. The guy who screwed up the best pun opportunity in the entire movie. What should he have said?
The beagle has landed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Houston, we have a beagle. Makes no sense.
Jess Harnell is the voice of Wacko Warner and Crash Bandicoot.
Huh. Oh, he's a wacko. He's a wild. You should look up this guy. He's like a metal fan from the 80s, but still like giant curly.
I was gonna say he looks like a kind of more rock and Weird Al.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Totally.
Let's see. Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie 16%. And let's see. Hank Sartens writes, quote, not available. Tim, sorry, I made myself chuckle. Jim Rocarles of BBC.com writes at just over 80 minutes, it feels not so much like a proper film as a piece of extended filler for slow afternoons on Disney's TV channels.
Even British critics.
Yes.
Write the same way.
Let's see. Rodrigo writes, decent.
Jesus, Rod. I love that.
That's Rodrigo.
And all he said was decent.
He's a super reviewer.
A lot of these places, you got to make a profile. Just to say
one word review.
The Underdog movie.
Decent.
I disagree. I'm going to write a formal letter to Rodrigo about this.
Rodrigo.
Dear Rodrigo.
You're wrong.
It has been 12 days now since I have brought to your attention the matter of which I speak.
Rodrigo, what's it like in 2012 where you're living when you wrote this?
Have you seen a movie before this?
He regained his sight. This was the first one. He's like, decent.
It's incredible.
Did you know dogs can talk now?
Man.
Oh, so that's it, guys. You ready to get into the movie?
Woof.
Yep.
Here we go. This is Underdog. We open with voiceover from Underdog explaining the concept of the 60s cartoon.
Yeah.
It's weird that it was kind of meta and the cartoon was there, and yeah, I don't know.
Right.
There's a brief credit sequence, and then we cut to Capital City. 4th Street and K.
That happy tall city.
Yeah.
I can't believe it didn't start with a scene of his parents being shot and killed.
Yeah, leaving the opera.
Yeah,
or him arriving in a meteor or something.
Thomas and Martha Underdog.
There's some sort of press thing about crime, and the mayor's there, and there's a bunch of dogs, and
A bunch of file boxes.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was about.
Was there unmet quota? It was like uninvestigated crimes.
Yeah. Something like that.
And they're like proud of it.
Usually when cops display something like that, it's, what's been recovered in a bust or something. So I don't know. He's like, these are files we did go through.
Okay. So the number one thing about this movie is clearly there's like 3 or 4 subplots that were going on that were 95% cut out of the movie.
Yeah,
and the 5% that was left in just makes this whole thing confusing as fuck.
Yeah. Well, and corruption is rampant in Capital City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet the mayor seems like a stand-up guy.
Yeah. The mayor's just an idiot, I guess.
Yeah, he gave commendations to Jim Belushi. He likes the dogs. He's not up to anything unless, like Thoreau said, there was something going on with the mayor. It may not have been nefarious, but there was a story there that probably explains the file boxes.
Well, just thinking about the file boxes now, I'm feeling like the mayor was investigating unsolved crimes, because then later on, Jim Belushi mentions that there's a bunch of unsolved crimes that the chief has. I'm like trying to put 2 and 2 together, but this is Underdog.
Well, and the mayor is unaware of Jim Belushi's character existing until that moment where he's like, "You're the chief now, I guess. You're in charge."
His son mentions that he was given accommodations, but not is that the word? Anyways, twice by the mayor.
Okay. Yeah.
For bravery in the line of duty kind of thing.
But he runs up and introduces himself to the mayor like, "Mr. Mayor, I know exactly what's going on. I was a cop." And
right. And then, like Brian says, it has that, like, if there was a sub story or if they'd paid attention to it, because then the mayor, says you're promoted, you're back reinstated,
Yeah.
But you're right. He did say his name when he ran up.
There's a lot of stuff going on here that makes no sense unless there's 45 minutes sitting on the cutting room floor somewhere.
Oh, leave it there. I'm grateful that this movie was not a moment longer.
I am totally cool with it only being 82 minutes. It could have been 72 minutes as far as I'm concerned.
This could have been a 30-minute children's cartoon.
Yep. Take the kid out.
This should have been a season of the Underdog show.
30 minutes with commercials, 21 streaming.
Yeah.
So we meet our protagonist. His name is Alpha Dog, which seems not right based on this dog.
We don't hear him called that ever again.
No.
Right. And with the voiceover, which I know is intentional, but you think that he is sort of the leader of the, you know what I mean? Like, I thought he was going to be the badass alpha dog.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
but he's already a joke.
Well, yeah. Like, what would have made sense is he's like a big badass alpha dog, and then there's some sort of accident that gives him the superpowers, but he's injured and can't, like, something like that. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Right.
All right. So, yeah, he accidentally sniffs out a ham rather than a bomb. Everyone.
Inexplicable ham.
There's inexplicably a ham in one of those filing boxes. How long has that ham been in there?
They're like, we just solved the ham case, chief.
I've been looking for that ham for weeks. So yeah, he's humiliated. He gets fired, and so this trained.
Does he get fired or does he quit the force?
I don't know.
Hard to say because he's just walking down the street by himself.
Well, the cop is just like, "You're not good now," and he wanders away into the alley, which is 100% what a police dog would be allowed to do.
Yeah, is he homeless? I was like implied that he's homeless now. He's a homeless dog.
Because like the police just like kick him out onto the streets. What?
Yeah, but I'm with Al. It's sort of ambiguous.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like he left, like, I'm just not good at this.
But he wouldn't be allowed to do that because he's a dog.
He walked out into the alley and he still had his
You're not gonna...
his bomb squad vest on, and he took it off of his own accord. So he's just like, just quit.
Yeah, he was all F this. One of the dogs, one of the German Shepherds making fun of him, made a funny joke, and he was all, "Quiet, I smell something."
All right. So yeah, he's immediately abducted, taken into a lab where he's caged with a bunch of other dogs. He's told by one of the other dogs there that a scientist is going to perform experiments on them. We meet Dan, the security guard. Mad
I
scientist.
never knew his name was Dan.
And we also meet mad scientist Simon Bar Sinister, and his sidekick Cad, who is the one that snatched Alpha Dog. Simon tries to inject some sort of serum with human DNA into Alpha
Several kinds of DNA.
Dog. So
An eagle,
one,
like the strength of a bear.
yes,
The wisdom of an owl with a graduation cap on.
one thing that is certain is that DNA, once diluted into Kool-Aid, 100%
Right.
is injectable.
Yeah.
The jars of DNA.
If you get it to glow, it's 100% effective.
It's good to go.
Yeah, the science in this movie was insane.
Well, that was
It
a
was-
lab that rivals Arcane's from Swamp Thing 2.
Yeah.
It's like
With
it's
the
like
percolating feel. Oh,
a
yeah.
launch tube. It's like this round desk with just orange and red buttons
Right.
across the entire
What
surface.
is this lab?
Yeah, it's like the Baxter building, but
It's a lab taken directly from a children's serial marketing cartoon in 1963.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They
Absolutely.
do succeed at that a few different times in the movie.
All right. So the Alpha escapes from their clutches, runs around the lab, breaks stuff, starts a fire, and a whole shelf of the different serums dumps onto him. So I assume all this DNA soaked through his fur into his skin in seconds.
That's how DNA works.
That is 100% how DNA works. Yes.
Yeah. Glowing DNA for sure.
Yes, if it's red, if it's raspberry flavored DNA, it's definitely going to soak in.
DNA, mountain ice.
Okay, so yeah, then he runs away. The lab burns down. 3 cops and a fire department, or no, then the cops.
A TV falls on Bar Sinister.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Computer monitor.
That's why he's so deformed.
Because a monitor fell on him. It wasn't even DNA.
No, and Al's right. I noticed it too because they didn't involve anything else. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a TV plus, like beakers and what have you. It was a TV.
Yeah.
Got hit with a TV.
It was a flaming TV, but
Fair enough.
All right. He's like, I paid such a high price. Later
Those
on.
were those old CRTs, right? It was very heavy compared to a modern.
It was a plasma, so you know
Plasma.
it wasn't as light as an LED, but
Yeah.
The plasma is burning me.
so the cops and the fire department show up. The chief is all mean to security guard Dan. Dan's like, I'm tired of you, chief. Then in an alley, Alpha gets chased by some street dogs.
Riffraff.
Riffraff, yes.
And the gang.
The famous Riffraff, who is one of the main characters according to the trailer. He gets hit by a car. He's uninjured, and Dan is the one driving the car. He looks under the car like, oh, good. Most of the time when I hit dogs, they're dead.
Yeah, especially a little beagle, but
Like, usually I just drive away. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed at this moment to not see like an indentation on the grill. Like
we see it
dog
later.
shit. Oh, we do see it later. Oh, okay. I
They
must
show
have missed
a dent in the bumper, yeah, which apparently Dan never realizes he has one because
Well, I was going to say that scene begs another question, but we'll get to it. But yeah.
many scenes beg many questions.
No, but Jim Belushi's character, it's weird the way this character was handled.
Yeah.
Why could he not have? I don't know. Why is everyone trying to keep it a secret from him? Why is the dog and the kid? He notices the fender and he's like, I wonder. He doesn't even, it's not even vocalized, but you see him notice it.
Well, because it's the 2000s and like you're a tween, and parents are the enemy, so we are going to keep it secret because that's the whole.
They don't understand. That's true. I have heard that.
I guess he's a latchkey kid or something. Also, yeah.
So he keeps dogs
Well,
secrets.
later on, he's like, and I wanted to be a kid with a dad and a mom, but it's like trending a little dark here, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry, your mom was murdered. Jeez.
Yeah, get over it.
Hashtag get over it. Yeah.
I will say about Dan, right? Is his name Jim Belushi's character? He
guess.
tells the chief, like, I'm going to do this investigation. I've got all this stuff that I'm going to do. What? He went so like hard, so fast. Like, oh man, I got this whole plan.
Right.
Yeah, and
he's a security guard. He should know that is not in his like
purview.
Yeah.
He's a brand new security guard.
Yeah, he just took the job. He even tells his kid, what's the kid's name? Ricky? Billy?
Jack.
All right, Jack.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, says I like the new job. Yada.
All right, so we cut to the next morning. Apparently, Dan's been up all night with the dog outside petting him.
Just drinking and petting his dog.
He's still in his uniform too, so I don't think he ever went to sleep, which becomes which starts to become like once you start thinking about that, I don't think Dan ever sleeps because he immediately goes back to work.
Yeah.
That following morning after working all night and petting his dog all night.
And they make a point of that too. They're like, because Jack can't get it through his brain that he stopped being a cop so that he didn't lose both his parents. But yeah, so Jack's like, well, he said he wasn't going to work as much, but it's just as much.
Yeah.
What a dumb kid.
But also he's a security guard, so why is it just as much? These guys have shifts. And then more other security guards, different security guards come on, and now they're responsible for what happens at the security guard factory.
You're absolutely right.
All right, so we meet Jack, Dan's son, who's busy forging a doctor's note. Was it to get out of school or just gym?
Oh,
I thought it was all of school.
I thought so too, but then later she mentions that. Maybe
it doesn't
was
matter.
Just...
So, okay, here's my question: what's up with school in this kid? Does he ever go back to school? Because every time he leaves his house, he carries a backpack with him, but he never once goes back to school.
And
neither does Molly.
We do see a few scenes of them in school.
What?
No,
we don't.
At the football practice, he goes.
That's at school? I thought they were just in the park.
Oh, baseball. That's right. Not football.
I thought they were just in the park.
It seemed that way.
They're constantly just going to the park.
I didn't immediately think that it was school.
I never once thought that was school.
I don't remember what the line was, but they show the school. He's like, this is where I am bored 8 hours a day. And and they talk outside. Anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
No,
right.
You're right. That happened. Yeah.
All right. I did not remember that, but it might have been my brain trying to protect me.
But no, there were no like classroom scenes where he looks out the window and Underdog is like carrying a car or some shit. There was none of that.
But he still carries his backpack everywhere he goes, no matter what. Because he's a teen.
He's selling drugs.
Yeah. Whereas porno is.
Yeah.
I
liked
his excuse on the sick note.
Monkeypox?
Monkeypox, yeah.
Monkeypox, yeah.
There was that serious monkeypox pandemic back in 2007. We all remember that.
Yep. Then it was like a Brendan Fraser movie. Monkey
bone?
Pox? Oh, monkey bone.
Monkey Ted and Alice.
That's when the monkeypox is terminal. Then you get monkey bone.
You get monkey bone.
You get monkey bone.
All right.
I monkey boned all night once.
And that's how we got the pandemic of 2000.
There it is. Yep. Throw monkey shine.
It was my fault. All right. So yeah, they named the dog Shoeshine. Jack is all like, "Dad, I hate you, and I don't want the dog." Dan has to go back to work. Jack goes to school, and Shoeshine has a dream about his powers. Then at school, Principal Samantha B has a talk with Jack about his fake note. At home, Shoeshine accidentally trashes the entire house with his new powers.
The learning the powers scene.
Yeah. Jack comes home. He can hear Shoeshine talk now. So
okay, that was wicked confusing, and it pretty much was through the movie.
Yes, it never ever stopped being confusing.
I thought it seemed like Jack was the only one that could hear him. And then other people can hear him, random strangers. His secret identity is so important. Like, it's the fucking dog that talks, man.
Yeah, flying is impressive and all, but a talking dog?
Yeah, he talks a lot.
He talks a lot. No one except Jack has ever freaked out to hear him talk, except for the one scene with Jim Belushi.
Right.
And yeah. Well, and the whole like secret identity thing. At the end, Jim Belushi and the kid are holding Underdog in front of TV cameras and everybody. Gee, do you think there's a connection between these two guys and Underdog?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, once this goes out, they have to disown Shoeshine or what have you. But yeah, people are going to see those two guys and a beagle.
Back on the street.
And Jim Belushi's the one who just ran into the building.
Beagle recidivism. What?
And Jim Belushi's the one that just ran into the building to plunge some drugs into Peter Dinklage's neck. And
there had to have been some other plot that was happening,
and also
that they did not follow through with. In that moment.
Yeah,
we'll get there. But
we will get there. But also, Jim Belushi running in his mom jeans up those steps was hilarious.
Yep.
All right, so he can hear Shoeshine talk. He freaks out, but then he accepts it. They head to the park. At the park, he sees Molly, the girl he has a crush on, and her dog Polly, who Shoeshine immediately falls for. Polly only wants to be friends with Shoeshine.
And Molly just happens to be a school reporter?
Like a tough, badass one. He was like nervous.
Yeah.
She's the Katie Couric of this school newspaper.
We have this like incel depiction of being friend zoned by a dog in this movie.
Yeah.
Which I mean, there were a couple of things. We forgot to mention his regrets, besides the ham, was flirting with a poodle who happened to be a guy.
Yeah.
So there's some other dated jokes in here. But this was a weird moment where I was like, you should be happy to be getting attention from this dog that you're interested in, you piece of shit dog.
Right.
We know what dedicated heterosexuals dogs are.
Right.
A gay dog, pish posh.
This was just yet another like, I forgot I could like set my watch by this movie.
Yeah,
like, what year?
I'm lucky that my dog isn't like humping like the cat most days.
Right. Mine will, they won't even be in their proper positions. Just
a lot of the time they just hump air.
Air. Exactly. Like, Ollie, that's her neck. And is it around this time that he makes, it was in the trailer too, the biggest lie of a statement ever? Underdog says that dogs don't kill each other for money. Humans do. And then Jack's like, humans don't sniff each other's butts. First of all, you just Google that. You can see that easily.
Dog fighting or?
Well, no, they do kill each other over food, which I suppose is their currency.
Yeah.
No, not money. You're right, Underdog.
But yeah, there's a number of categories on a few websites about sniffing butts. So
yeah, we do it a lot.
All right, so then she leaves. Jack and Shoeshine discover his speed. So Jack finds a frisbee in the trash and just throws it. Not for his dog. He just decides to throw this frisbee he found in the trash because he turns and starts to walk away and is like, "Oh wait, you're chasing it?"
Right. He's just liberating a frisbee.
He has never seen a dog before, ever.
No.
This is his first foray into pet ownership or just animals in general.
So he thinks these are just things dogs do.
Yeah.
Lift up the couch and fly.
So, all right. So he realizes he has super hearing, and from across town, he hears Molly being mugged. This mugging.
Okay.
This mugging. These two grown men that spend a solid 15 minutes trying to get the backpack from a teenage girl that is full of homework.
It's like that Mulaney bit. Yeah, totally. Remember that rash of like muggings when you were in third grade?
Street smarts.
Street smarts.
You throw a $100 bill on the ground and run away.
Yeah. Dad, can I have $50 so I can throw it in the sewer at the first opportunity I get? The money clip. Engraved question mark?
Well, yeah, they are mugging this teenage girl for her backpack, and her digital camera is their haul.
Let's a $50 digital camera, maybe. Yeah. And
at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
And
they were a dime a dozen then.
And it takes them enough time for Shoeshine to hear it, register what's happening, get all the way across town, and then break it up. Like, that's a long time.
Well, and this is the only crime happening in Capital City at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say that, yeah. It's a big flaw with Superman, and it was with G-Girl in My Super Ex-Girlfriend, where it's like, you have supersonic hearing, but how do you specifically hone in to one conversation miles away?
You only listen for your loved ones. Everybody else is just,
and I mean, Zack Snyder tried to illustrate it with Superman, where it's just a barrage of sounds and conversations. So it's like, how do you hear Lois in Nevada?
Yeah.
I liked his line when he hears the mugging. He says, Polly and that girl that follow her around are in trouble.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yes.
So yeah, he arrives.
Totally forgets Molly's name. Just
Shoeshine arrives, saves the girls. Polly gets a blurry pic of the dog hero. She calls the cops, who arrive, as does Jack.
With the traveling sketch artist. Like,
yeah.
Like, wow.
What?
That beat, how lucky they came across that beat cop.
Right? Cad. Oh, no, wait. No. Then that night, Jack goes home. And Shoeshine is sorry he broke so much stuff on his way to save the girls. They start trying to clean up. Cad rings the doorbell. He's looking for Shoeshine. Jack doesn't let him in.
No, even though he's pushy and the questions he's asking, it's just like, you know who's in here? None of your fucking business. That's who's in here.
Right? You knocked on my door.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm looking for my beagle. Does tricks.
Does tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
And he made posters.
Yeah.
Well, and that kid's such a dick for not giving the guy his dog back. I'm just going to say that. Somebody shows up to your house like, I heard you had my dog. That's messed up, man.
You're right. But Shoeshine tells him who he is. True.
He is a talking dog, so he can communicate.
But again, the kid could have just said that. He's like, what's going on there? It's my dog. My dog is making a ruckus.
Yeah.
You're not the only person who has a dog.
Yeah, especially a talking dog. Those are new. It's a new thing. You can get them from Sears. You know?
Newest, hot off the presses. That's all I needed. The dogs talk. Oh my god.
Oh, please no. Please no. Dan arrives home. He's upset at the mess. He's happy that Jack wants to keep the dog, though. Then, meanwhile, in the sewers, a now burned and injured Dr. Bar Sinister and Cad find an abandoned area.
Yeah, the lab that used to be in that sewer.
Right? Like, what was this place?
Is it the same lab? It looks like the same lab.
Yeah, except underground and dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donatello's lab.
Yeah, exactly.
Except it's not. That was New York City. This is Capital City.
I know, but it looks like the bare bones that, then they would clean it up and make it into a lab.
Anyway.
Like the fun-loving teens they are. Unlike Simon Bart's Sinister.
And there's a montage.
Yeah, always like sweeping and dancing.
Like playing Modern Love. Like, yeah, okay.
Pizza delivery in the middle, yeah.
Yep. spinning it.
Jack and Shoeshine waste some time with some really bad gags about dog stuff, and then Jack gives Shoeshine a collar.
This is the dog costume scene, right?
Yeah,
they have to give him like a
trying different outfits.
No, it's not. No, not yet. This is them. Speak, roll over.
Oh yeah, the book.
They literally waste 3 minutes on this stupid gag so that they can, but they had to like cut out plot pertinent points that made the movie make sense.
I want to say that Jack and Shoeshine sounds like the name of like a folk ballad about hobos, like Mr. Bojangles kind of thing.
Oh, Jack and Shoeshine, they ran the rails.
Broke the rails, yeah.
Then, all right, at the lab, Kat and Simon break in and steal some equipment, I think, or some stuff.
Yeah, one piece of something, because he's like, just pick it up.
And then, then there's the jewel heist. Was it ever explained to us what they needed from the jewel restore?
They needed just money to subsidize. He even says the words, to subsidize my experiments.
But he's like, very specifically, he's like watching on TV and he's like, that's the one right there. Like when he sees like a particular jewel.
Yeah.
Maybe it augmented the DNA,
worked in the machine. Another thing that got cut out. Powered the machine.
Oh, it definitely was something that got cut out. I'm pretty sure, but it augmented the like the Raztastic flavored DNA they had.
He was going to propose to the girlfriend that was never introduced in the third act.
Yeah. So yeah, Shoeshine shows up to break them up, and they recognize Shoeshine. Shoeshine stops the robbery. He's a big hero, and he's on the news. Jack makes him a superhero costume. Here's where we get this superhero costume montage.
Right, and where they have Gotham face blindness.
Yes. Yeah.
The fish kite was funny.
It was.
Yeah, that's true. That was a good.
Walking around in the fish.
And yes, I got to say that the times where it was a real dog were cute. He's like crawling through a vent, like moving the vent and hopping through, and standing in a fish costume.
Yeah, sure. Dogs are cute. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it saves this movie in any respect. I tried because I'm sorry, I have the uncanny valley thing with the talking animal shit.
Yeah,
it gets to a point where it's like very disorienting to me. So yeah, I was like, oh, that's a real dog there.
Sorry, that was my impression of you being disoriented. Talking dogs.
When I fall in the science pit.
All right. So, so we get the montage of him foiling crimes then, and the thing with the hot dog vendor. It's like hot dogs. That's what I got.
Well, and he doesn't know what they are. This former police dog who lived in Capital City its entire life.
Yeah.
Well, and everyone around him hears him say they're made of real dog,
and everyone spits it out.
Yeah. What?
That's when I got really confused because I was like, I didn't know.
So confused by this moment.
Well, and
that particular scene was from a bit earlier, before they go to the school and the baseball game.
Oh,
okay.
In the montage, he goes back and hits up the hot dog vendor, grabs a hot dog.
Yeah, as he flies by. Yeah.
Oh, and there's the hot dog eating contest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's after he's found out that it's just lips and assholes because he thinks it's dogs.
Yeah. So I'd like to point out at the hot dog eating contest, there was no one in the seat that Shoeshine took. So either that guy was competing against nobody and he was assuming he was just going to win the hot dog eating contest with one hot dog.
No, that seat was Kobayashi's seat, and he had already.
They were waiting for Kobayashi to arrive.
He had already eaten all the hot dogs.
All right. So then it appears Molly is obsessed with discovering Underdog's identity for this one scene. And this one scene only. Because she has the board with like the twine and the
yeah, the true crime board where it's clear you've lost it.
Yeah, she has that, and like she's obsessed with. She writes on it, "Who is Underdog?" And
I'd be like, that's really all you need on your board.
Yeah, but then we never follow up with that because they clearly cut out this entire subplot. Except for
at the
one.
At the end of the movie, he doubles down with not letting Polly know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So is this where Polly gets her Lois Lane scene?
No. Wait, what Lois Lane scene?
The Mine Song.
No. It's coming out. Yeah, it's soon.
Okay.
In the sewers, Simon is still working his serum, but he can't get it to work.
He's back on his bullshit.
Yeah. He decides he needs some of Shoeshine's DNA, so Cad pretends to be a lady in danger and tries to kidnap Underdog, but it doesn't work, although he does get Underdog's collar with his address.
Oh, that's funny. With his address. Oh, so would Underdog not have helped an old man falling out of a window?
Clearly not.
Or was that Simon just like, I'm going to get this dude dress and drag while I can?
No, everybody knows old men don't fall out windows. Only old women.
I thought it was a door. That was my favorite line out of that whole situation.
Yeah, that was funny.
I accidentally stepped out this window.
But he looked like Rosemary Harris as Aunt May from Spider-Man 2. Taking her out.
I'd like to point out that is pretty much the same thing, and it wasn't any less ridiculous in Spider-Man.
Oh, no, it's cool in that.
All right, so this point he has to enhance his secret identity, so he wears the cone and he gets humiliated in front of all of the riffraff and the other dogs. Polly is all obsessed with Underdog, and this is the point where he dresses up as Underdog and takes Polly out for a mind song and spaghetti.
Yep. And she, just like Lois, she can be totally horizontal and flying the same way as Superman, as long as she's just touching a part of Superman.
Yeah.
Her paw was on just touching his paw or his arm, leg. I don't know.
We've had damned. Yeah.
And then there should have been a mind song. Can you read my mind?
Woof, 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 woof.
Shit doesn't taste so bad.
Can you smell my butt?
The bitch is back.
I will say this. To your point, Al, can you smell my butt? Dogs recognize each other via smell.
Aromatically.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brian. I was going to bring that up.
And
you're right.
Polly, right? Or is it Molly?
Polly's the dog. Polly's the dog.
She does not notice that this beagle smells just like Super Beagle.
It's a good point.
Right.
It's like my anal glands change when I put this sweater on.
Well,
same.
Yeah,
I have a few outfits like that.
Sweaters.
But yeah, besides the fact that he looks the same, he's not wearing a mask. His face and voice are exactly the same. So is his smell to other dogs.
Yeah. Damn, you're right.
He'd be rubbing his butt on the grass before he goes to see this dog.
I'm staring you in the eye the whole time. Why do you want to look at me?
Right.
It's not just my dogs, I guess.
No, it's all of them.
It's all dogs.
Yeah. They all. I love that animated film. All dogs look you in the eye when they take a dump.
All dogs have an exhibitionist streak.
All right. So Dan gets kidnapped by Bar Sinister. Wait. So there was I missed it here, but there was this scene where Dan is just telling Jack about the sewers.
Yeah.
He's just explaining the sewer system to him.
Well, he had a diagram of the jewelry store or the bank, wherever that robbery went down.
Right.
So somehow he got a diagram of this crime scene.
The city planner's office.
And he's just like, yeah, the sewers, once you get access, you can go anywhere. Even Bar Sinister knows that.
Right. And so, I mean,
I love it down here. It's awesome. And that's stuff you can find.
Right. And that would be fine, except there's nothing that leads us to believe at any point he was investigating this crime or bringing Jack in on it.
It's a good point where he's like, so if he knows the network so well, how does he not know about this abandoned sewer lab that used to, he knows.
maybe he had briefly worked at the water treatment plant before becoming a security guard, and it was just outside of his expertise, but he picked up a little bit.
Outside,
A little bit. Yeah. Nonetheless, it's weird that we just cut to a scene where he's telling his teenage son about the sewer system.
Yeah, you don't want to go in there, but you can get anywhere.
But anywhere you want, yeah.
And then go ahead, Al.
I think that when Dan was a cop, like his first beat job was in the sewers. So he was just patrolling the sewers.
Yep.
In Seattle, looking for the Punisher.
Yep. It's like I think I hear meditating.
I think I hear a naked guy.
You can. There are some naked guys. Yeah.
You used to be so clean back in the 80s. Oh, now they're not.
Watching this in between, I was also watching The Dark Knight Rises in the background. So just the difference between Bane's sewer headquarters and Bar Sinister's. Yeah.
And that's the only difference between these movies is the quality of the sewers.
Really,
that's right.
Bane and Bar Sinister are very similar
in many ways.
All right, so
same motivation.
So Dan is kidnapped by Bar Sinister. They take him to the sewers, so I'd like to point out that at this point, Dan has no idea that his dog is special in any way, and this guy says, "Call your dog."
Yeah, he kidnaps the guy he only recently met as the new security hire in the building he works in. Their only interaction was him putting his, all access badge in his face and being like, "What?" And then, you're like, "Call your dog. Let's kidnap this guy. Where's your kid?"
So now Jack, he gets the information on the sewer from his dad, and he takes it straight to Molly.
Yes, he does, because because it seems Molly's investigating something about the sewers and the break-in, but we never get to see the beginning or end of that. We aren't told anything about it previously or afterwards. It's just these individual scenes with no context outside of them. They cut everything out that made it make sense.
Well, yeah, they did. But like I said, it's they're all keeping the secret from Jim Belushi, which is working. But then, like you said, it seems to be common knowledge from Cad and Simon who they are, why, because he shows up right at their house.
Yeah.
He knows the guy from work, from the lab, but he knows to go there.
Well, no, he got it.
Everyone knows but Jim Belushi. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he got their address from the caller, but yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right, the caller.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Then, okay. Shoeshine and Jack fly to the sewer, where they reveal everything in front of Dan. And Shoeshine, who was the dumbass that brought Jack there in the first place, decides that he can't possibly beat up both of these people. And he just surrendered. The other dogs aren't even super yet. They're just regular dogs.
Right. Yeah. No, he said to Jack, "I don't want anyone else to get hurt." It's well, we're in the process of being hurt. If this fails, we're going to be hurt. So did you get us out first before you?
Him just surrendering with no fight or anything was baffling.
Or when he flew away to the remnants of his exploded planet for 5 years. Yes. Then came back.
So all right. They give Shoeshine a pill that makes him just a regular dog again.
It's the regular beagle pill.
And he says this pill contains regular beagle DNA.
Yeah. Why did he cook that up?
Did you just cut up a beagle? Because that's what DNA is.
Shoeshine's the only beagle in the movie, so he must have cracked that recipe specifically.
He just killed and cut up a beagle and put pieces of beagle inside a gel cap. Because that's all DNA.
I'm sure it's nourishing. It's like a meal and a pill.
Superman 4, there should have been a scene and he's cutting outfits and putting them in the test tube, just like the Radiation Man.
All right, so Bar Sinister creates 3 super German shepherds and leaves to take the mayor hostage at the Capitol building, and apparently he's going to release something. What is the thing? It's a mind control thing he's releasing?
A mind control serum.
A mind control.
Or an obedience serum, I think he said.
Yeah, they'll do what he says.
Yeah.
They'll be as obedient as a normal dog.
Yes.
I just briefly, he uses the 3 German Shepherds that belong to the cops.
Yeah, it seemed like that's
were those
them.
dogs?
That looked like them.
There are only 8 dogs in all of
Underdog.
all of Capital City. 3 police German Shepherds, Underdog. What's his name?
He's hot for.
Polly.
Oh, and then Riff Raff.
And then Riff Raff and his 2 accomplices. That's the only dogs in this whole
and
dog-centric world.
And the weird ugly dog.
That John Leguizamo from Spawn dog. Yeah.
That guy.
Who we don't see again.
No, he died in the fire.
That's right.
The lab explosion.
Yeah.
TV fell on him.
All right. So in the sewers, Jack and Dan, I was going to say Jack and Diane escaped.
Yeah, they're sucking on a chili dog.
We discover that Dan, so Dan, I don't know when we discovered it, but at this point, Dan has a talk with him about being a cop and quit the force after his wife died. They head out to the Capitol building. Simon takes the mayor hostage with 3 German Shepherds. So a man walks up to you with 3 German Shepherds and starts demanding billions of dollars. The mayor doesn't know that these are super dogs at this point.
Right, but I don't know. Have you ever been around a sketchy German Shepherd?
But sure.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. It's an
I carry
uncomfortable
steak in
feeling.
my pocket.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So Cad plants a bomb with the serum strapped to it at the top of the building. Molly and Polly sneak in for some reason and get captured.
She's an ace reporter. That's why.
That's why. What a scoop.
She gets tied up next to the bomb. Shoeshine and Jack arrive, and Shoeshine rushes inside the building. I'd like to point out he is a normal dog at this point. He is not super. So did this also give him greater intelligence? Does the serum? Because he's right now just doing... Like, the dogs all seem super intelligent, even without the serum.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
the human DNA element.
Like, Riff Raff is pretty damn smart for a dog, and he has no sort of enhancement at any point.
Well, and they all communicate. So the human DNA just allows other humans to hear you speak English.
Yeah.
They talk to each other a lot.
They are 100% as smart as humans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is definitely an alternate reality where dogs are just unable to communicate, but incredibly intelligent.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to roll with that, which is no pun intended because he's on that globe, but I thought they were going to have Shoeshine save the day to, for the moral of the story, that we're all a hero.
Yeah.
No matter what, blah, blah, blah.
But no, he instead crashes. And
then eats drugs off the sidewalk.
And he eats drugs off the sidewalk, which is how he gets his powers back.
That's a good weekend, man. Find a score like that.
Woo.
Simon grabbing the extras and picking them up.
Right. So then he fights the German Shepherds. Simon takes a pill himself, which, I thought that was going to happen a long time ago.
Much earlier.
And he and Shoeshine fight, and then he convinces the German Shepherds to switch sides. The German Shepherds capture the doctor. The mayor escapes. He makes Dan a cop again. Dan rushes inside.
He had to be deputized.
Yes. Just him running up those steps with his his stonewashed mom jeans was hilarious. And
I'm a soul man.
And he just runs in and jabs him in the neck with a syringe and just injects him.
Yeah, there's a lot of drug undercurrents I was never aware of.
But what was funny was if you notice, there was a SWAT team and they were all standing evenly spread out across the steps, just spacing the building. I don't think that's how SWAT operates.
No. Like stormtroopers.
Yeah. So, all right. So, they take away Simon's powers. Then Underdog flies up to the roof, frees Molly and Polly. He buries the bomb. It explodes, shooting him into space. He lands. Everyone thinks he's dead, but he's not. And then everybody's happy.
He blasted up into space and fell down in almost the exact same spot. Well, he fell down in the exact lawn where he just got blasted from.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's not how gravity works.
Or the rotation of the Earth.
Yeah.
You don't stay in one spot with the Earth.
or for that matter, 3 sticks of dynamite.
Right.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, there's obviously harbors and water around Capital City because we see it several times. But he decides to dig into the earth and let it explode. And then the explosion follows him out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It goes up. And also, sure, 3 sticks of dynamite's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not like this was going to destroy the city.
No,
It's 3
just that
sticks of
rotunda.
dynamite. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was to disperse the serum.
Well, yeah, that's what it was, but they removed the serum from it, and then he just had 3 sticks of dynamite to deal with.
I know.
Yeah, he could have just thrown them into the air, and it would have just been an airborne explosion far away.
Or take the bomb up to space with him, and the bomb explodes, but he passes out.
Yeah.
That would have been
like Superman.
right. It's like, or Iron Man when he throws the nukes through the portal.
Yeah. Any number of things could have happened that would have made more sense than 3 sticks of dynamite being buried. And then
okay.
From a dog perspective, because a dog is going to bury the bone.
Well, I mean, that's
obviously.
the thing. He was a
the
dog
idea.
burying the bone. It was a dog theme. But also, 3 sticks of dynamite are not going to blast anything into space.
Yeah,
No, you're right.
we've tried.
Yeah. That's why my rockets keep not working.
See, Homer, all those wires are why your robot didn't work.
All right. So then we get the Simon and Cad go to prison. Jack and Underdog are hanging out with Molly and Polly. Shoeshine gets to finally get back at Riff Raff.
He barks his fur off.
Yes.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yes, it was.
Made me a little uncomfortable.
Naked dog. Yeah. So then Underdog flies into the sky, saving the day in rhyming. Roll credits.
Saving the day and rhyming, just like LL Cool J.
Yes.
I liked how I liked how they included Underdog changing costumes in a phone booth, and then they exploded the phone booth.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did do that.
Yeah. That was
so
nice.
they were true. There were a lot of things about this that were true to the TV show.
Here's the
Yeah, there were successful nods, I thought.
There were, well,
Yeah.
and like the rhyming and all that, like, yes, that's a tip to the show, but like, why? In universe, it was really distracting and weird.
But they commented on it.
It was. I thought it was kind of funny as like a meta thing because
Yeah.
I did vaguely remember Underdog rhyming.
Well, yeah, totally. But but in the movie, Polly's like, "Do you only speak in rhyme?" So I think that was there.
Yeah. It was missing some cereal product placements. We got like the Hormel chili product placement.
Oh,
but we did
but
not get.
he
I
was-
think it always was because there never was a cereal. I mean, there might have been a cereal after the cartoon, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't an Underdog cereal in tandem like they planned.
Yeah.
He was,
No, it was
Jack,
just
what?
they would just air this show and then air a bunch of General Mills cereal commercials
Yeah.
between. They didn't have like Count Chocula show up.
We did get a Subway
But that
product.
was
placement.
common. Did we?
Yeah. When he complains about the mustard, he flew through the building, and the last person has like a Subway sandwich
Oh,
with the
right.
Subway wrapper.
Yeah, and she's holding it like this, and yeah.
I expected him to come out like eating the sandwich.
Right, holding it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
But,
in a KFC poster in a closet.
There was
Just
the
dressed
one
as
scene
a
where
colonel.
Jack was eating cereal and Underdog wanted him to give him the cereal.
Oh, I
Yeah, the
missed that.
human food.
I had to watch this movie twice, you guys. I fell asleep the first time. I fell asleep hard and fast. This movie is a sleepy ass movie. It is
This-
not exciting at any moment.
No, it's not. It is a hot
I-
mess, and it's okay. So, as a superhero
Honestly,
movie,
there were a couple of moments when I did get excited to be watching this movie,
Mhm.
and it was all about the music that was playing.
Oh,
The plain white tees.
The plain white tees. That was during the montage, right?
Jeez. That's an Amish woman who won't put out. Plain white tees.
Tees. I get it. Tees.
Their take on the Underdog theme song was rousing to me, as was Underdog raps at the end.
That's right. We got a rap.
Yeah.
Kyle Massey.
Kyle Massey's name. I will admit, and it sort of petered out, but like when I was watching the scene, I was like, what? Jim Belushi? What? Peter Dinklage? What? Patrick Warburton? Like, I started getting excited. Like, holy shit! I didn't know people were in this movie.
Yeah,
but then it petered off rather quickly.
Yeah. I think there could have been a really fun movie in here. There's pieces of it. It's just it didn't come out like they. So it failed as a superhero movie, but as someone who has recently watched several movies starring Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers. Thanks for that, Jude. It also fails as a Disney tweens late 2000s movie, in my opinion.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, there were no interesting teenage characters in this at all. There were no interesting characters besides Peter Dinklage and Patrick Warburton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dinklage and Warburton were the shining gems in this dog turd.
Yeah, they were acting.
Two pieces of corn.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is why those movies were rough, but you know, there's Rocky and Bullwinkle and Space Jam and Back in Action where the character is a cartoon but still interacts in the world. And I like that better, but I don't know. Maybe that's why those movies fail, because I don't like the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, but I'm so glad they just used, you know,
cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't try to moose
not a real moose
or even that half
squirrel.
like or Garfield, you know, like all the other animal characters in Garfield look like animals, but Garfield he's a slash between real life and animated.
Yeah,
his eyes and
it gets weird at a certain point. Yeah,
it does. It's weird to have an uncanny valley with an animal.
Far end of the spectrum is cats.
Oh yeah. No,
cats.
Not a butthole to be found.
So, all right, guys. All that's left is to put this on the list. You ready to rank it?
Yeah, let's do that then.
All right.
It is rank.
So I am looking kind of in the area. In the mid 60s, we've got My Super Ex-Girlfriend, Zoom, Catwoman.
The show was popular in the mid 60s.
So I'm looking in that area.
Is this better than Zoom?
I don't think it is. I think Zoom was better than this.
Yeah, Zoom had a few compelling moments. This had Warburton and Dinklage.
Yeah, I guess Zoom had stupid moments, but not uncomfortable ones. There were a couple uncomfortable moments in this.
Zoom at least made, like the movie itself, at least made some modicum of sense. Like the point to point, like A leads to B leads to C, I could at least follow. This movie was all over the place and made no sense.
So then I say between Zoom and Catwoman, because it's better than the last four that we have on there. Like, this is better than Catwoman. This is better than Superman 4. I know that's tough to say.
But you're not wrong. No,
right.
Still, but I don't all of those movies.
But if we go too much higher, it starts to get in the area of like ones that are okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Zoom and Catwoman's my vote. In between.
Yeah, in between.
I second that.
All right, Al.
Sounds good to me.
All right, there we go. We are putting it at number 66 between Zoom and Catwoman on our big list of every movie ranked. And that's it, guys. That is a wrap on Underdog. Next week, we will be watching Superhero Movie, our first 2008 movie. 2008, guys. We're almost there.
All right. We're getting there.
Yeah, we are. So that's it. We will see you next week for a superhero movie. Thank you all for listening and watching Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been your host, Throw Smiley, and I'm off to go bark at myself in the mirror.
I'm Josh Cece, and see me for a rusty chihuahua.
It's not a bird, a plane, or a frog. It's just me, Brian Lesh.
Have my pants been on inside out this whole time and you guys didn't say anything?
We didn't want to embarrass you.
Yeah, it would be silly.
I'm Malaric Weber.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, guys.